Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my shop and my channel. So, I want to show you something today that some of you probably been waiting on. It's one I should have done a long time ago already, that just haven't had the chance. I'm going to show you how to replace the master cylinder on a single circuit brake M35A2 today. And let me show you why. This is the one, like I just got done putting the air pack back on it after rebuilding that. And yeah, this new master cylinder here, we'll get to that in a minute. So I come up here and I go, okay, so I'm going to take the cap off here. And bear in mind, I replaced this master cylinder already a couple of years ago, and the truck's just been sitting. But when you open it up and you find that inside, not sure how well you can see that, but yeah, it's full of just rust. That's not, I can't reuse that. And I mean, you can see the master cylinder is not even really dirty. It's just a damn air pack leaking internally emptied the master cylinder out, and it gathered moisture from condensation and rusted the hell out of the inside of the reservoir. So we got our new master cylinder. You know, Big Mike's has these. You need a master cylinder. Definitely check inside of yours and see what it looks like first. You may be able to rebuild yours. If not, you can get new ones from Big Mike's. And just, I mean, look how pretty that is. Yeah, so 2.5 ton only. All right, so as I mentioned before, when you're going to do something like this, you're going to be under the truck, close the door, because you will kill yourself on the corner of that door getting up. So under here, we have our newly installed, freshly rebuilt air pack. Over here we have the master cylinder. This master cylinder is a pretty straightforward job to replace. There's only a couple of things you need to know specifically that are important that will help you. You've got to take this line off. You don't have to take it completely off. You can do the opposite of what you did with the air pack and loosen it here and take it off up there and just let it drop down. But that brass nut there, you've got to take that off as well. And that's an 11/16, I believe. If you do not take that off, you will not be able to get the master cylinder out of the cavity it's in. Trust me, you cannot do it. You need just that little bit of extra, a 1/2 inch length, to be able to maneuver it out of the spot it's in. And it looks like it's wide open and easy, but it ain't. Trust me. So you want to do that. Then you want to take, if you have a winch equipped or PTO, you want to take your 2 bolts off, take your PTO bracket shifter off the side, get it out of the way. You'll unhook that here, take this pin out, which is should have a spring-loaded detent in it, so don't knock it all the way out. If you knock the pin all the way out, the detent and spring will go flying and it's screwed. You'll just have to put a nut and bolt on it, and that sucks. Then you'll want to take your spring off. See that spring? Yeah, there's a spring that hooks into the pin on the master cylinder rod. So you'll take that spring out, and that spring is what holds the pin in. Then you can take the pin out. Then you can grab this rod thing, your adjustable forked. Why can't I come up with words and speak these past few days? Damn. I don't know what's wrong with me. I guess I'm not sleeping enough. But grab the whole thing and just pull it out. The boot will come off, and that's fine. So take that off, and then you've got 1 bolt up top, 1 here, 1 there, and there's also 1 in the same spot as the one at the top here on the other side. But if this has been replaced before, chances are the bolt on the other side is not in it. Almost nobody puts that bolt back in because it's the only one that's a huge pain in the ass to get to. I don't put them back in generally. It's not like you've got 30,000 pounds of force pushing on that, so 3/8 bolts is plenty enough. But if you do have it in there, the best way I've found to get it is with a 12-inch extension, and to go through that half moon shaped hole in the back with a universal joint and a socket, and you can get on it that way. You got to kind of feel your way to it and use your other hand to put the socket on up there, and then put your ratchet on it back here and break it loose. So it's not fun, but you can do it. You put the bolt back in, that's great. I'm not going to tell you not to do the job, you know, completely, put it back like it was, but I don't. It's not that way on my truck. Mine has 3 bolts in it, and I think every one that I've done has 3 bolts, and this light is dying. So after that, installation is reverser removal. So it's really straightforward. There is your little vent line right there that goes up to the top. That's not really super critical. A lot of people don't reconnect that. If you don't go in any deep water, because you'll get water right in the master cylinder through the vent. It's not a self-sealing vent. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, I hope that little bit of advice there is helpful to you. Yeah, I could show you this, like actually doing it, but it's trying to do that and film it is, especially with the phone here, is it's not going to happen. So straightforward. If you have any more questions, post them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to address them for you. All right, so I was mistaken. It has been so long since I did the master cylinder on this truck that I did, in fact, put that 4th bolt back in the hardest place to get to. I got to get it out, obviously. So I'm going to show you what I was talking about on how to get it. I've got to put you in the holder right there, under here somehow. Man, I bet that made you dizzy, huh? Oh, God. Oh. Okay. So, as you can see, everything is off. I've got the brass nut out of the back. The line is laid back. Yeah. It's all good in this hood. So, oh crap. It fell off. It fell out of the little vise thing. Maybe that'll work. I'm gonna have to get you guys angled right, set up properly. Let me see. Oh, the pin that holds the linkage for the master cylinder. Some of them, I didn't see it before when I was doing the video, but some of them have 2 holes. Most of them actually probably have 2 holes. I've done a bunch that do and a bunch that don't. There's a cotter pin in one, and the spring hooks in another. And the reason for that is if the spring breaks, there would be nothing to keep the pin from rattling out. So, they need the cotter pin in there. Safety feature, I guess, even though it's only single circuit brakes. Let me see. You're gonna have to bear with me, like, I don't know exactly, because I didn't plan ahead enough for this, actually. So. You know, I was looking at the new GoPros though, and all the bracketry and tripods and cool stuff they got. I'm gonna have to get one of those. Like, it seems like it'd just be so much better for all of this crap, everything that I do. Because this whole like tiny vise sitting on the floor with a Irwin quick grip and a phone is just, this cannot go on forever. I still got to get another memory card for that smaller GoPro my dad sent me, though, that off-brand one. I think that'll probably work pretty good. Okay, so I'm still gonna have to move you from where you're at, but let me get kind of get set up, sort of. All right, so put your 9/16 socket on your extension. Can you see? Sort of, kind of, no, maybe. Oh, this sucks. See, everything takes so much longer to do when you video it. So you can see where I'm working now, but I'm not sure if you'll be able to when I'm actually in there. So basically you go in with the long extension from the back. And this is such a huge pain in the ass. Put your hand over the top of the master cylinder on the back side and try to guide the socket on. Yeah, this is all kind of stupid. Okay, that angle is not. I'm gonna have to use a shorter extension on this one. Because it's put, well, I don't know. Maybe I can do that. No, that ain't gonna happen. I don't think. Maybe. If I can get it. Oh, you turd. Ah, it fell off. Okay, this is shitty. I don't know if it's even on there. No, it's not. Oh, man. See why I don't put that bolt back, usually. Apparently I did last time, but I don't know. And you can't really get in there with a a stubby wrench either. There's just not enough room in there between the frame rail and the other side of the master. Let me grab there's a tire there. 6-inch extension. Let's see if that'll fit better. This will probably be too short. I don't know. I think this might actually be the last truck I did this to. It's been a while since I changed the master cylinder. Yeah, that's too short. Maybe. I know probably all you can see is the back of my arm. I'm sorry, but I'm doing the best I can here. Okay. So, I hope you can see that. That's kind of like what you're working with. And yeah. Let's see. Hopefully that'll be a little better for you, but I doubt it. So if any of you guys ever wonder why my hat is so dirty, this is why. Feels like my head is against the back of this greasy transmission right now. Yay! Okay. So, it is loose. It's out. Red line is way. There's my socket. So you can kind of see that even though it looks like there's a lot of room to work here, there's really not. And the bolt is still in it. That bolt is not going back in this time. I'm not doing that again. I don't want the next guy that may have to do this to have to fight that either. That's just retarded. There's no reason for that. I mean, would it have been that hard to make it come in from the front side and thread it into the case of the master cylinder instead of the back where you can't reach it? I mean, that would make more sense to me. There's room right here. But no. Anyway, that's because these things are assembled before they ever put the cab on. And okay, cool. So I just kind of wanted to show you that and how much of a super huge pain in the ass it was since I had to do it. So I do appreciate you watching. Hopefully this will convince you not to put that bolt back in if you do it yourself, and it'll show you how to get it out if you have to. So please like the video and subscribe if you have not already. Check out our sponsors listed in the description below as always. Also, if you want to support the channel here, there's a link to our Patreon. We'd be happy to have you join. See you later, guys. Oh, shit. Stop the camera.